Fast forward, Yamumbra a story in Shinaswam Sahaksi Ěxpǒsě Avenue. Podcast of September Migusi Miki headlines, Najimbre na IDB Exum or Nidium, Yanko political highways in Jedem are any Assam Kotwakran, Afenyo Markins, Nasue, and a Black Rasta Abora, a ho any Suma, Yansu to be the Amanu, baby a wobia. And Nina said on Facebook page of Afenyo Markins, she said, Nyansenim Sabiason Sibianado, say, ye be jelly, ubia, or you tumutumu. Kind of act no na sanse musi Black Rasta sum, even though papa na babontin so can be funny Facebook page being compromised, but the crew woman ankasan Black Rasta jemre or boy in chomo.
It doesn't make sense to jail gays and lesbians. Afenyo Markin. A few days ago, we were told that Afenyo Markin's Facebook page, Twitter page got hacked. Whatever it was that got hacked, a social media platform in the name of Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin. He is a lawyer by profession, we are told. A lawyer who can insult judges, call them corrupt, and tell them how much he hates them and will disrespect them to the end of time. A confused lawmaker. This is who he is. He is the minority leader in parliament. And for them, to be a leader of the minority is to oppose everything sensible. Anything that makes sense never makes sense to this guy and his micro to the infinitive time in parliament. Minority. They make the minority seem very, very bad and terrible. They are only opposing anything that makes sense. My brother, my sister, this is Afenyo Markin. A few weeks ago, he slapped a policeman on duty 3 times, we're told. Nothing has happened to him because he's above the law. We live in a banana republic where leaders who are supposed to make this guy pay for his alleged crimes are idiots and they let him walk free. It's sad. The policeman is there. Today, if the police people decide to pick arms, like they do in Congo and some other banana republics, to oust these people, and whoever is making them suffer, we pray it never happens. Who are you going to blame? It's idiots like this. Can I say that again? I am saying that this man is called Alexander Afenyo Markin. He is supposed to be a trained lawyer, yet he has no respect for the law. Such an idiot. I don't want to be a lawyer who is not a respecter of the law. Do you want to be? These are the people we see and we don't even want to train as lawyers anymore. This guy and Morris, what is his name? Is it Morris something? Ampao. Some bleach-faced idiot who also says he is a lawyer. These are the people we see and we don't even feel like being lawyers. In the days, it was a profession that was so respected and honored. Not now, when these guys can go out there and call judges all kinds of names. All kinds of names. And because they are untouchable, because they are in the political class, in his own words, they are better than every other human being. This was a guy who said that parliamentarians should have their own hospital in Ghana. Parliamentarians should have their own hospitals in Ghana. When there are a lot of hospitals in Ghana that have no beds, pregnant women are giving birth right on the bare cold floor. They leave the hospital with their babies catching pneumonia. They don't care. They want their own hospital because they are better human beings than all other humans. Instead of fighting for the people who voted them into power to be more comfortable so they could follow suit, the bad leaders that they are, they want their own comfort first. Idiots. Oyopi. What are the laws of power? As a leader, sacrifice your comfort so that the led can be more comfortable. And when they are comfortable, you can now have your comfort. Not now. The teachers are always told that their reward is not here on earth, it's in heaven. Police can never go on any demonstration, let alone the soldier, so they can continue trashing them out. He slapped a policeman 3 times, we're told. No justice. We will say it and say it until justice is given that young man. Young policeman. Afenyo Markin said that his social media page was hacked. They posted this and they stamped on it fake. A law that imprisons people for their sexual orientation, or they choose to love, or who they choose to love, does not protect society. It simply selects a group of human beings and makes their existence a crime. That is a line no parliament in the civilized world should cross. This was what was posted there. They blame Sam George and the NDC for hacking, in quote, this. So he himself came back and then posted that it was compromised. Kindly disregard this post. Account was compromised. Wow. But there's a tape of Afenyo Markin when this so-called proper sexual health and whatever family values bill came into parliament. I want us to take a listen to what he said in parliament and juxtapose that to this thing that he said was a hacked page that posted a message that did not represent him. Let's listen to him in parliament say the same things that he's denying now. Watch this.
To jail a person for his sexuality or her sexuality would not be the solution in maintaining our Ghanaian family values and ensuring proper human sexual rights. Mr. Speaker, in the list, such individuals who get into our jails become worse off. Mr. Speaker, as a law student, in my final year at Makola, upon visiting in Sawom with my colleagues, it became clear that inmates were being sodomized. It became clear that people were rather getting deeper into that habit and that behavioral aspect of our culture that we dislike. I dare say, Mr. Speaker, that will be retrogressive should we insist as a House on a third reading with these incarceration provisions in the bill.
Well, all that is said, forget the uncomprehensive words that he might have used. Incarceration is just putting people in prison. He says that when he was at the law school at Makola, he and his colleagues took a trip to the Sawam prison and they realized that sodomy, kojobesiaism, was rife at the prison. People were sodomizing each other. So in his opinion, he doesn't think that gays should be taken to jail. Because for him, They would only go there and continue with the sodomy and probably recruit more people. My brother, my sister, the only difference between what he said was a hard message or a message that was put there and this is very slim. He is not saying that to be gay or LGBTQI plus, be part of that family, is not bad. He is only against the incarceration because it makes them rather go there and continue with whatever they were doing. My brother, I am not, personally, I have never been for incarceration of people that the nation says that they have a mental issue. According to the bill, it is something that has to do with this. And if somebody has a problem with the head, the jailhouse is at a psychiatric hospital. It's like they go and arrest weed smokers, drug users. And instead of taking them to a psychiatric hospital, they take them to jail. Yet it is established here amongst our professionals that people who use drugs, they need mental aid, not incarceration. You see somebody smoking in Tampe. You see somebody using red. You see somebody using tramol and all that. Our professionals say that they need psychiatric help. They are in a state of mental neurosis. They are in a state of mental disrepair. And the sensible thing to do is not to incarcerate them, but to take them to seek help with professionals. My brother, my sister, that is the problem I have with incarcerating gays, LGBTQI plus fraternity. In the days, Sigmund Freud and many more philosophers believed that homosexuality was a mental problem. In Germany, homosexuals were taken to a psychiatric hospital, even in the 1900s. And we are busily trying to incarcerate these people. Incarcerate weed smokers. Incarcerate tramol users. Red users. In some serious countries, let me be fair to my country, in some more serious countries, they would ask for a mental assessment before every incarceration. In our country, even when people show blatant signs of disrepair upstairs, that is when we are quick to push them in. That is the only point I will support with Afenyo Markin. But the truth is that all these politicians are playing games with this LGBTQI plus issue. They don't have the balls, my brother, my sister, to take a decision. In one way or the other, they look at the economy, they look at their political longevity, and they decide that they would embark on this negativity. Can I make it clearer? Watch this. Now, LGBTQI plus family is like a mafia group. It's a mafioso. They are powerful. You touch them, you touch the jugular vein of your economy. Hey! In the music industry, they are the kingpins. The fashion industry, hey! If you want to succeed, you may have to be gay. Hey! Even in some secret societies, These are the people who sit at the helm of affairs. That is the bare fact. There are presidents who are gay or bi. There are church elders who are gay or bi. They are part of us. When you touch them, you touch your very livelihood. I honestly empathize with Sam George. I'm choosing my words carefully. I didn't say sympathize. I said empathize. I empathize with Sam George. When Sam George started this fight, I remembered myself in the days. And I told him, Sam George, kind regards. My brother, I hate it when people want to force what took them 1,000,000 years to accept on the people to accept in just 1 minute. Can I say it again? Something that took them ages to accept, they are forcing it down our throat. When it comes to Africa, we have our own beliefs, but we have compromised our beliefs with the thieves that we have in power, who make everything inadequate. So we have to run out and fall on these criminals in order to eat basic necessities. It's a shame. Africa is the most beloved continent on earth and even in space. When you spit in Africa, it grows into wheat. When you pee in Africa, it grows into corn, yellow corn. And when you dig a hole and release excreta into it, excuse my language, it grows into yellow yam. That is how sarcastically blessed Africa is. Yet, our wicked leaders have made sure that we are relegated and asphyxiated until we have become colorless. Hallelujah. They have strangulated the life out of us. And right now, we are walking headless jerks. Well, yo. They can't take a decision on this LGBTQI. Look at what happened to the president, John Dramani Mahama, when he went out there to America to receive that award. They said the gays said we shouldn't give you that. Hey, they can stop him on the street and say, don't go further, return to Africa because the gays say you should go. The gays are more powerful in the world right now, more than any other person. My brother, my sister, in a nutshell, allow Africa to grow at its own pace. Your aid is accepted, but your aid should not give us AIDS. Your aid should not be a condition to inherit your sicknesses. And to our leaders, it's a lesson. Remember, he who feeds you controls you. I've said this time and again. I agree with Afenyo Markin. It doesn't make sense to jail gays. If you say that it's a mental illness, then my brother, the jailhouse is not a psychiatric hospital. Same thing with ganja smokers. Same thing with red users. I see them, police go into the ghetto and arrest 100 ganja smokers and they are taking them to jail. In the jailhouse, they can even get more. More. It's a big business in there. Why don't you take them to where they belong so they can get the right help? Let's be humane. Let's not be too interested in the punishment aspect of the law. It's the black part, aka Kokoshodemo. And here we speak truth to power.
We ain't some who team course watching on so, Mammy and I was so Jim Ray, that's an so bad in their dumpy dominion. Onya, you better say,